Fantastic Four: First Steps is now in theaters, debuting a brand new team of heroes. However, there's also a whole new MCU reality filled with new Easter eggs and exciting references to be explored. Introducing brand new takes on Marvel's first family as they contend with Galactus and her herald, the Silver Surfer. First Steps is an exciting roller coaster from start to finish. Fantastic Four: First Steps has a plethora of cool connections to the 60s along with retro-future twists on real-life figures and events. There are also some great cameos connecting to Marvel's original architects, and plenty of great ties throughout the new MCU movie overall. Here are all the biggest Easter eggs, references, cameos, and fun factoids we found in Fantastic Four: First Steps. The classic Marvel Studios logo card gets a classic retro 60s makeover, tying into the unique era of the new MCU movie. The Fantastic Four's reality gets the official designation of Earth 828, inspired by Jack Kirby's birthday, August 28, 1917. The Fantastic Four's rocket is named the Excelsior, inspired by the iconic catchphrase for which Stan Lee was best known. Fearing the potential cosmic effects of Sue's pregnancy due to their altered molecular biology, Reed's concerns mirror Sue's pregnancy in the comics, which did have some cosmic complications with her blood cells, requiring Reed to obtain Annihila's cosmic control rod. The ABC special presentation opening title for the Fantastic Four 4-year retrospective matches the one shown in real life during the 60s, complete with the red, blue, and green ABC letters. Played by Mark Gatiss, Ted Gilbert is based on real-life television host Ed Sullivan, a play on the classic comic opera duo Gilbert and Sullivan. Across this retro-future New York City, various food and products ads are shown, including Yoo-Hoo, Little Caesars, Pop-Tarts, 7-Up, and even Coppertone, swapping out the classic child mascot with Johnny Storm himself. The retrospective montage showcasing the Fantastic Four's first 4 years and heroes includes their battle with Giganto, the large green subterranean monster most famous for gracing the cover of Marvel's Fantastic Four #1. In this universe, Ben Grimm's iconic catchphrase originated with a Fantastic Four cartoon, rather than being something the real Ben ever says, at least not until Fantastic Four: First Steps ending. A classic move from Johnny Storm in the comics, the Human Torch creates a giant number 4 in the sky with his flames. The forces of Subterranea are shown bringing down the Pan Am building, an iconic New York skyscraper in real life that has since become the MetLife building. In the MCU's main Earth 616, it's the site where Avengers Tower stands. Played by Paul Walter Hauser, Harvey Rupert Elder's Mole Man is revealed to be a former enemy of the Fantastic Four and leader of the underground world of Subterranea, mirroring the comics. The MCU's Elder also wears the same visor goggles seen on the page. However, it's revealed that Mole Man was convinced to form a treaty with the surface world thanks to Sue Storm's diplomacy. Molids are the citizens of Subterranea led by Elder in the comics. However, they look much more human in this new MCU movie than they do on the page. The Mad Thinker is referenced during the Ted Gilbert retrospective, a classic Fantastic Four villain from their earliest days. Meant to debut in the MCU movie and brought to life by John Malkovich, the Red Ghost scenes were cut from Fantastic Four: First Steps. However, Pedro Pascal's Mr. Fantastic can still be seen fighting one of his classic super apes from the comics. During Reed's science show, Mr. Fantastic is trying to teach kids about the multiverse and parallel Earths, realities that include the MCU's primary Earth 616. The underground realm of Subterranea is briefly shown at the beginning and end of Fantastic Four: First Steps, revealing an entire underground society right before the surface world. Formed out of Sue's diplomacy with Subterranea, the Future Foundation was created as a global unity initiative working toward improving the entire world. This shares the same name as the Fantastic Four's think tank of heroes and scientists in the comics, which included Spider-Man. While multiple nations across the world are shown working with the Future Foundation, the chair for the Latvian representative is notably missing. As such, this serves as some key setup for Dr. Doom, Latvia's monarch and ruler. At the end of the retrospective, where citizens are heard thanking the Fantastic Four, the original cast from the 1994 movie is shown thanking their MCU counterparts as a very fun cameo that's easy to miss. The stage the Fantastic Four stands on with all the arrows matches the same stage where the Beatles performed their 1964 appearance on The Ed Sullivan Show. Matthew Wood is the voice behind Herbie, the Fantastic Four's loyal robot who first debuted in the new Fantastic Four animated series, one of Jack Kirby's final creations for Marvel. Wood is best known for being the voice of General Grievous in the Star Wars franchise. Eating a box of Lucky Charms before dinner, Johnny's snack humorously features the Human Torch himself on the box, another one of Storm's many product endorsements. The art also resembles Jack Kirby's signature style. Ben Grimm is shown walking down Yancey St. and buying cookies from a nearby delicatessen. In both the comics and MCU, Ben Grimm grew up on Yancey Street as a kid. Ben is shown wearing a trench coat when he's out by himself, a common article of clothing worn by the Thing in past movie appearances and in the original comics. A new character created for Fantastic Four, first steps and a possible love interest for Ben Grimm, Rachel Rosman is actually Natasha Lyonne's second MCU character. Her first was Birdie, the powerful daughter of Howard the Duck and Darcy Lewis in Marvel's What If? Season 3. Another key piece tied to the 60s setting is Johnny's Andy Warhol artwork that's hanging in his room, and the art is his own face. Johnny repeatedly hits the "Flame on!" sound on a little Human Torch action figure until Ben destroys it. This is a direct parallel to the early 2000s Fantastic Four movies, where the Thing destroys an action figure of himself when Chris Evans' Johnny similarly wouldn't leave him alone. The Puppet Master is mentioned by Reed, another classic FF villain who uses radioactive clay to control and manipulate his victims. Bentley's Whitman's Wizard is also mentioned, leader of the villain team known as the Frightful Four, the Wizard, Madame Medusa, Pastepot Pete, and the Sandman. In the comics, Diablo is a sinister alchemist in the comics who sold his soul to Mephisto, his scientific skill and alchemy bordering on magic. Shown looking out the window from an office covered with comic book art resembling Jack Kirby's work, two young men in the office are meant to pay tribute to Lee and Kirby, who both believe the Marvel Universe should be just like the world right outside your window. One of the shops located in Times Square is Westview Appliances, inspired by director Matt Shakman's previous MCU project WandaVision and the town of Westview. The Silver Surfer telling the people of Earth to rejoice the coming of Galactus brings to mind Ebony Maw, who also told the victims of Thanos to rejoice in their misfortune as the Mad Titan's victims. An RKO Palace Theater can be seen in Fantastic Four: First Steps, inspired by the real-life movie theater chain from Hollywood's golden age. Humorously, both James Gunn's Superman and the MCU's Fantastic Four feature moments where Clark Kent and Johnny Storm both refer to themselves in the third person, and are subsequently told off for doing so by Lois Lane and Ben Grimm respectively. Before leaving Earth and facing Galactus, pieces of Reed Richards' speech to the public bring to mind the former Marvel Comics imprint. Adventure into mystery. The Thing calls Reed Stretch, a classic nickname Ben calls Mr. Fantastic in the original comics, sometimes Stretcho. En route, Ben wonders if Galactus is a space dragon, which feels like a reference to the major Marvel Comics villain Fin Fang Foom, a giant interstellar dragon. After they're pulled into Galactus' ship, the Excelsior's landing gear features the number 4, in the same particular style seen as the 4 printed on the side of the rocket in the post-credits scene for Thunderbolt's asterisk, even though that ship had 4 boosters instead of 3. Galactus confirms he was once little, like the Fantastic Four, before he was given his unending hunger. This is a tease that the MCU's Galactus has similar origins to the one in the comics, having been the last survivor of his own universe before he was transformed and given his cosmic mission to consume worlds in this current one. Galactus confirms that Franklin's powers weren't detected on any of Reed's tests as the boy hides his nature. This is not unlike the comics where Franklin subconsciously altered his own biology to give himself an X gene to be considered a mutant, and later removed his own powers save for one day a year when he remembers he still has them. 2 fictitious movies can be seen being promoted in Times Square. The first is a movie called The Emperor's Twin from Walt Disney Studios, while the other is titled Sub-Zero Intel, starring an actor named Greg Nagel. Having studied the samples Herbie collected from Galactus' ship, Reed confirms that his existence predates the universe, just like in the original comics. In Fantastic Four: First Steps, NASA is instead ANSA, standing for the American National Space Agency. It's kind of like PDNY in Miles Morales' reality seen in the Spider-Verse movies. WHIH is a major news outlet in the MCU, both on Earth 828 and Earth 616. Sue Storm confirms her mother died in a car crash, while her and Johnny's father did the best he could, mirroring the comics. Sue Storm's unwillingness to give up her son to Galactus and convincing the public to help with a different solution mirrors Captain America's unwillingness to give up the Vision to Thanos and his children in Avengers: Infinity War. The new MCU implies the Future Foundation made it to the moon first on Earth 828, as a lunar flag is shown as Galactus nears the planet. Johnny Storm speaks the Silver Surfer's name, Shalabal, the original Silver Surfer's wife in the comics. Zenla is depicted in live action for the very first time, the homeworld of both Shalabal and Norrin Rad. Before the final battle, Ben meets Rachel in a Jewish temple, connecting to Grimm's roots established in the comics. Timely Comics can be seen in Times Square behind Reed during the final battle, the original name for Marvel Comics before it became Marvel, further supporting the Stan and Jack cameo earlier in the movie. Just like in the comics and in 2007's Fantastic Four, Rise of the Silver Surfer, the former Herald ends up becoming a key ally in the fight against Galactus, betraying their master in the name of doing good. Johnny Storm repeatedly confirms that the Silver Surfer's board is not a part of her body, and the same is true in the original Marvel Comics as well. In Fantastic Four's first post-credits scene, one of Franklin's favorite books is apparently Darwin's Origin of the Species, featuring theories on evolution and a nod to the fact that Franklin had long been considered a mutant in the comics, though it was recently revealed he used his cosmic powers to create his own X gene. Shown taking Franklin, it seems as though the child of Sue Storm and Reed Richards and his infinite power will play a big role in Dr. Doom's plans that will be seen in 2020 SIXS Avengers, Doomsday. The song in the end credits is sung by Andrea Datzman, an apparent tribute song to Galactus himself, aka the World Devourer. The second post-credits scene features scenes from the in-universe animated Fantastic Four cartoon, and none other than the Photon ally Dragon Man, who was originally brought to life via the alchemy of Diablo in the comics, despite John Malkovich's role being cut from Fantastic Four. First Steps, Red Ghost is featured in the cartoon alongside Diablo, the Puppet Master, Wizard, and the Mad Thinker. Fantastic Four, First Steps is now playing in theaters from Marvel Studios.